Alright, let's get straight to it. June 27th, 2025. Mark that down. This isn't just some arbitrary point on your planner. Picture this: a specific reservation was made for you. In the grand scheme of things, way before you even showed up on this planet. You haven't just stumbled into this conversation. You were specifically pinpointed, deliberately chosen for this exact chapter. Now I know that word, chosen. It can feel like a lead weight, right? Maybe you're thinking, who me? I'm not ready. Maybe your past keeps replaying its highlight reel of screw-ups, whispering you're not qualified. But hear me on this, loud and clear: you weren't selected because you're flawless. You were selected because you're carrying something vital, something this world is crying out for. For the longest time, life's been chiseling away at you, sometimes quietly, often painfully. That period of feeling cut off, that wasn't a time out, it was your intensive training. While others were basking in the limelight, you were in the workshop, being refined. While they were sprinting off, you got the hold tight signal, and that hold up, absolutely by design, because what's brewing inside you needed that marination time. It needed genuine grit. It needed that profound stillness before the symphony begins. And guess what? The quiet part is over. There's an undeniable power in cosmic timing. You might have felt like a ghost, completely unseen, but trust me, not 1 second of your path was missed by the architects of your journey. Every confusing piece, every unanswered question is about to snap into focus. That's the real reason you couldn't just give up, even when every cell in your body screamed to. That's why your spirit flat out refused to be extinguished when life felt like it was burying you alive. You weren't designed to crumble. You were engineered to ascend. And here you are, not as a leftover from your history, but as a live conduit for purpose. This is the very moment your core being has been anticipating. The world needs your courageous yes, now more than ever. So, stand up straight, not with ego, but with that deep, divine-backed confidence. You were picked, you were dispatched, and the clock just struck. Go. Take a brief glance backward, not to get bogged down, but to truly register what you've navigated. The tempests, those long seasons of silence, the betrayals that offered no closure, the nights you cried out into the void and heard only echo, those weren't just random hits of pain. They were your curriculum, cleverly disguised. They were your prep work. You were being polished, not sidelined. And though it might have felt like your entire world was imploding, what was truly happening was a necessary shattering, so something far more magnificent could emerge from within. It's a common trap to think suffering means you're cursed, forgotten. But the truth, those dark chapters were hallowed spaces. They were building your resilience, forging your endurance, and burning off every single thing that wasn't meant to accompany you to your next elevation. There's a solid reason you didn't get what you thought you needed, right when you demanded it. You weren't being ignored, you were being meticulously developed. You had to let go of certain people to truly find your internal compass. You had to experience solitude to clearly hear the voice of God, without the usual noise. You had to confront resistance head on so your faith could deepen beyond the superficial. And now, you're undoubtedly stronger, sharper, perhaps quieter, but infinitely more anchored. You possess an inner fortitude now that isn't found in comfort zones. It was forged in the furnace. All this time, you weren't being disciplined in a punitive way. You were being readied for a responsibility that only a select few are equipped to bear. Don't waste a second resenting that process. It was your personalized boot camp, and now that the rigorous preparation is complete, you can stride forward with absolute clarity. Internalize this: the very adversity that aimed to break you has now become the unshakable bedrock of your mission. There arrives a juncture when what's been concealed must be brought into the light, not just for others, but crucially, for you. You've carried weighty questions. Why me? Why did I always feel like the odd one out? Why did doors slam shut for me when they swung wide for others? Now, the answers are starting to bubble to the surface. Because when the destined time arrives, the truth simply can't remain suppressed. The mist clears, and you begin to perceive with sharp clarity what your spirit has instinctively known all along. You were never intended to just fit in. You were earmarked, summoned, and intentionally set apart for something that transcends the everyday. That's precisely why the well-trodden paths never quite worked for you. That's why you couldn't just follow the herd. Your soul resonated with a truth that clashed with the prevailing narratives. And for so long, you might have doubted your worth, failing to recognize that the very things that made you feel like an outsider were the breadcrumbs leading to your true calling. But now, the curtain is being ripped away. The mirages are dissolving. The unvarnished truth of who you are and what you've been sent here to accomplish is surging upwards. The world tried to label you too intense or not good enough. But the revelation is dawning. You are precisely, perfectly who you were made to be. And those aspects of you that were once misunderstood, they are the very qualities that will guide others toward their own awakening. This is the hour of unveiling, of confidently stepping into your authentic identity. What was once hidden is now being proclaimed. So open your eyes wide, steady your heart, and fully embrace what is being shown to you. Because once this truth is truly seen, there's no going back to unawareness. In every significant journey, there's a point when the universe declares, no. It's not when you feel perfectly polished, not when circumstances look ideal, but when your spirit has truly weathered the storms, matured, and aligned with the gravity of your assignment. That point is here. Your spiritual advancement has been greenlit. Not by human approval, not by fancy titles or applause, but by the unseen forces that have silently witnessed your unwavering commitment. You didn't chase external praise, you chose internal alignment. You didn't opt for the easy way, you stuck to the often lonely, harder right path. And though it came at a cost, though it might have appeared you were falling behind, the reality is you were being elevated in ways hidden from plain sight. And now, that phase is complete. The energetic shift has occurred, and soon it will tangibly manifest. The authority you now carry, the peace that accompanies you, the clarity in your voice, it will be undeniable. This isn't about self-importance, it's about responsible stewardship. With greater calling comes greater responsibility, amplified impact, and stronger divine shielding. You're no longer operating from a place of mere survival. You're moving with inspired strategy. The right people, the necessary resources, the open pathways, they aren't coincidences. They are elements of your mission falling into place. You've transitioned from waiting to actively walking, from hoping to definitively knowing. You don't need to justify yourself anymore. The results will speak volumes. The light you carry will expose what is genuine. Step forward, not as someone wishing to be chosen, but as one already commissioned by a power far greater than yourself. Because once that higher authorization for your next level is given, nothing on earth can obstruct it. Now that the call has been sounded so clearly and the go ahead has been given, there's zero room left for wavering. You must step into absolute obedience, not halfway, not when it's convenient, but all in. This isn't the moment to second, guess or hunt for yet another sign. You've heard it. You've seen the markers. You've felt that undeniable stirring deep within. Obedience is no longer a suggestion, it's the vital next step. And get this, obedience isn't just about doing things. It's about profound alignment. It's choosing to act even when it's uncomfortable. It's speaking up even when your voice trembles. It's trusting the process even when the full picture is hidden. It's waking up each day with that quiet, firm resolve to walk your designated path, even if no one cheers you on, even if no one gets it. Because you're not taking cues from the crowd. You're following a higher directive. You cannot bear the significance of this calling if you're still dragging the dead weight of procrastination. The era of almost there is finished. The version of you that was still debating readiness needs to be shed. God isn't seeking your perfection, He's seeking your complete surrender. Full obedience means you trust each step, even when the entire staircase isn't visible. It means doing what's right, even when it's unpopular. It means trading comfort for purpose. And yes, this obedience will have its price. It might cost you certain friendships, old habits, former identities, and the comfortable illusion of being in control. But what you receive in exchange is unshakable divine clarity, a peace that defies logical explanation, and a life rich with meaning that can neither be purchased nor fake. You weren't kept safe just to play it safe. You were chosen to carry illumination into shadowed places. And light, my friend, never asks for permission to shine. So, this is the moment. Stop hesitating. Stop shrinking. Stop trying to negotiate the terms of your calling. You've heard enough. You've waited long enough. Now it's time to act. What's unfolding right now isn't merely personal, it's a planetary shift. You can sense it, can't you? Something fundamental is changing in the collective atmosphere. Old, rigid structures are beginning to crack, deceptions are being brought into the light. People everywhere are stirring, questioning what they once blindly accepted, yearning for something deeper, something authentic. This is far more than a passing phase, it's a widespread spiritual awakening, and you're not just a spectator, you're an integral part of it. You are a crucial component in this divine orchestration. You didn't just land in this world by chance. You were dispatched here for this precise era, for a purpose that extends far beyond your individual life. You've been awakened not merely to escape the darkness, but to meet it head on with truth, with love, and with genuine authority. The path you've trodden, the pain you've overcome, the wisdom you've accrued, it wasn't solely for your own healing. It was to equip you to be a beacon for others. Your life story is a guide, a source of light, a signal to those still navigating confusion, and you are not flying solo. All across the globe, others just like you are rising. The quiet ones, the often misunderstood ones, the ones who've been hidden in plain sight. People who've been refined through trials in unseen spaces and are now stepping forward with potent clarity and inner fire. This is the emergence of the called, the chosen, the awakened. It's no longer about titles or public platforms. It's about genuine impact. It's about committed obedience. It's about knowing unequivocally who you are and why you were sent. This is a divinely coordinated movement. You've been synchronized with a cosmic timetable. When you speak your truth, it carries profound weight. When you make your move, it shifts the energy. When you walk authentically, others find the courage to rise alongside you. That's how awakening spreads, not by force, but through resonant alignment. So, do not for a second underestimate your presence. Don't diminish the power of your voice. You are not insignificant. You are not too late. You are not unqualified. You are perfectly on time. And your eyes, in this very moment, could be the very spark that ignites liberation for generations to come.